At the end of the day, I want to be known as Jayden Daniels and not the next such and such.
2 years ago, Jayden Daniels was seen as a fringe NFL prospect and in danger of losing his starting job in college. In that short period of time, Jayden Daniels somehow managed to flip the script, winning a myriad of awards, becoming the best player in college football, and cementing himself as a day one starter in the NFL. But for some reason, nobody except for one man thought he was the best player in the 2024 NFL draft. How did Jayden Daniels slip through one small crack? Is he the best player of the 2024 NFL draft? And more importantly, is he going to be the next face of the NFL? Before we get to the content, we are on the grind to 1 million subscribers. Make sure you subscribe and turn on our notifications to help us get there. Now that we get all that out of the way, work! We made over $1,000 playing Prize Picks over the past week. We hit on Thursday night and on Sunday, and I would have hit a third time if Aaron Jones didn't get injured. Fortunately, Prize Picks refunds you when a player gets injured. I give away my picks for free on Instagram and now on Snapchat. And make sure you use my promo code microphone to get a free $50 when you make a lineup of $5 or more. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Coming out of San Bernardino, California, Jayden Daniels was a 4-star consensus top 3 quarterback in the nation, garnering offers from schools such as Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Ohio State, and many other Power 5 schools. Now, you might be wondering, how did Jayden Daniels get every single small school in the country to offer him a scholarship? And the reason is simple. His legendary work ethic was unmatched, and it's clear that he's always had one from day one.
What all have you been working on this offseason with your game?
Off season is working on my feet, especially at the Elite 11. They do more like underneath the center, so I've been working on that, working on my drops, the depth and all that, and just getting the ball out.
Despite having offers from SEC powerhouses, Big Ten champions, and ACC contenders, Jayden Daniels decided to commit to Arizona State University. Because in his words, the team is young, showing that they play younger freshmen, playing the best players. They want people that want to win and play at the next level. So just showing that, that's something I want to be a part of. Daniels was a very decent player at Arizona State, but he never garnered national media attention. He never threw for over 17 touchdowns in a season with ASU, and his final season with the team in 2021 was an absolute disaster. Now, he might have led the nation in completion percentage, but he had just 10 touchdown passes to 10 interceptions, and the team hadn't really taken the next step that they were expecting after finishing 8-5, which was identical to their last full season record in 2019. Jayden Daniels would without a doubt make a move that completely altered the trajectory of his career. I mean, if he didn't do this, then his collegiate football career would have been in jeopardy. Jayden would decide to follow former Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly to LSU, and the rest, as they say, was history. In his first season at LSU, Jayden put up career-high numbers, tying his former career high of 17 touchdown passes, while also breaking out on the ground, rushing for 885 yards and 11 touchdowns. LSU would finish 16th in the nation with a 10-4 record, but this would be nothing compared to Jayden Daniels' 2023 season. Daniels ended up leading the nation in passing touchdowns with 40, while just having 4 interceptions. He led the nation in passer rating, and on top of this, completed 74% of his passes. Not to mention the fact that he also ran for over 1,100 yards on the ground and another 10 touchdowns. Fans absolutely loved how Jayden Daniels was as cool as a cucumber while he was doing all of this. His demeanor and confidence, which he's gained from his constant determination to get better, which is without a doubt a huge reason why Daniels was able to break out in 2023 and win the Heisman.
How would you describe your journey?
It's been a long one, honestly, highs and some lows. I remember I was like 8 years old. I told my dad I wanted to play quarterback. I just wanted the ball in my hand at all times. I seen what I could do, and then from there I was like, okay, I might have something with this quarterback thing. Yeah, he wanted to show me Joe Montana, how you got to be cool, calm, and collected. You can't be emotional too much. But, the one thing he instilled in me was like, as a quarterback, all eyes are on you, so I want to prepare you for that.
In Jayden Daniels' Heisman Trophy winning season, LSU finished with their best winning percentage since the legendary 2019 national championship team. In one short year, Jayden Daniels went from a relatively unknown QB to a player that cemented himself as a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. He was considered to be the second best quarterback in the entire NFL draft behind Caleb Williams, who was being touted as the next coming of Patrick Mahomes. Williams had won the Heisman Trophy award a year prior at USC, and the Chicago Bears would end up taking Williams with the first overall pick, leaving Jayden Daniels to be taken second overall by the Washington Commanders, a franchise that was quite literally known for ruining quarterbacks. However, thanks to some recent changes people thought would never happen, the script in Washington had completely flipped. You see, in May of 1999, billionaire Dan Snyder bought the then Washington Redskins for $800 million, making him the newest owner in the NFL. To that point, the Redskins had been known for being a storied franchise, winning 3 Super Bowls in less than 10 years from 1982 to 1991. But under new owner Dan Snyder, that was all about to change. From the start of the new century in 2000, the Washington franchise has never won more than 10 games. They have just one playoff win all the way back in 2005 and have won 10 games just 2 times, with the last time being in 2012. Now, why did they win the playoffs that season? Because of second overall pick and former Heisman Trophy winner RG3, who not only won Rookie of the Year but also put up numbers never before seen by a rookie at that point. RG3 was seen as the future of the franchise in Washington. However, after trying to play through an injury and suffering a devastating LCL and ACL tear in the 2012 wildcard round, his career would never be the same, and the future of the Washington franchise had faded off into obscurity. Since then, the franchise has been in turmoil, and most of the blame had been placed on their horrific owner, who at one point said he would never sell the team. However, after years and years of protests from the fans, the NFL investigated Washington and owner Dan Snyder, and to their surprise, they found out that Dan Snyder had not only been withholding team revenue from the NFL, but he had also explicitly harassed team employees. After these findings, the NFL forced Dan Snyder to sell the franchise while also fining him $60 million. Snyder would sell to brand new owner Josh Harris, and things have been completely different. Don't get me wrong, year one of the Josh Harris era was very underwhelming, but after 2023, Washington would fire their whole coaching staff and front office, which as a result completely reset the franchise. They brought in Adam Peters as general manager, who was a part of drafting the now incredibly stacked San Francisco 49ers. He's been credited with scouting and selecting George Kittle, Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, and even Brock Purdy. At head coach, they brought in Dan Quinn, who had a top 5 defense in the NFL with Dallas a year prior. Not to mention the fact that he already had coaching experience and came just 1 quarter short of winning a Super Bowl with the Atlanta Falcons before Tom Brady and Bill Belichick pulled off the now infamous 28-3 comeback. As for the coordinators, Quinn brought in Cliff Kingsbury at offensive coordinator, a credited head coach himself with the Cardinals a few years prior, who helped develop Kyler Murray into the dynamic QB he is now. As for the defensive coordinator position, Dan Quinn hired Joe Witt, his cornerbacks coach from that very same top 5 Dallas defense that Quinn coached a year prior. Now that Washington had revamped their front office and coaching positions, they addressed key holes in free agency. With the departure of long-term halfback Antonio Gibson, the team signed fantasy football legend Austin Eckler to line up in the backfield beside second-year back Brian Robinson. They signed Cowboys center Tyler Biadasz to a 3-year deal, while also retaining tackle Cornelius Lucas on a 1-year deal in order to protect their new rookie QB. Washington also went out and bolstered the defensive side of the ball, signing veteran linebacker and future Hall of Famer Bobby Wagner, 2 Carolina studs in Jeremy Chin and Frankie Louvu, and they wrapped up free agency by signing edge rushers Cleveland Farrell and Dorrance Armstrong. On paper, from ownership to front office to the coaching staff to the personnel on the field, the Washington Commanders were an entirely new team from the one that they were just 2 years ago, and it already is starting to pay off in record-breaking dividends in the form of rookie QB Jayden Daniels. Over the course of the first 2 weeks in the NFL season, Jayden Daniels shocked people with how calm he was playing. In those first 2 games, he completed over 75% of his passes, passed for over 400 yards while rushing for an additional 132 yards, and a pair of touchdowns while leading Washington to a 1-1 record. However, Jayden Jayden Daniels really broke out in Week 3 on Monday Night Football against the AFC North juggernaut Cincinnati Bengals. And not only did Jayden Daniels show off his arm talent, unleashing a nearly 30-yard dot to Terry McLaurin in the end zone, he also showcased his record-breaking accuracy. In that game, Daniels completed 91.3% of his passes, a rookie record, while also throwing for a total of 2 touchdowns and 254 yards, while also adding a third touchdown on the ground for a grand total of 3 touchdowns this game. Daniels ended up leading the Commanders to a upset 38-34 victory on Monday Night Football, and since then he hasn't looked back. After Week 5, the Commanders have the best record in the NFC East at 4-1. Jayden Daniels leads the NFL in completion percentage at just over 77%, and he has over 1,400 combined passing and rushing yards, while also having 8 total touchdowns. Jayden Daniels is the odds-on favorite to win Rookie of the Year as of right now, and if you ask the Washington Commanders front office, they had Jayden Daniels ranked ahead of Caleb Williams from the very start of the draft process. With all of that being said, it's important to remember that we're just 5 games into Daniels' rookie season, and we have a very small sample size to work with. However, with what we do have, it's an objective fact to say that Jayden Daniels has been the best rookie in the NFL so far. The last time Washington had a rookie QB this exciting, he not only would win Rookie of the Year, but he would also make it to the playoffs before it all ended in disaster. However, that was under Dan Snyder's ownership, a regime known for its failure and consistent poor decisions. Under Josh Harris, an owner who has seemingly set up the franchise for success, we can finally see what Washington can do with a superstar at the signal caller position, and veteran coaches and coordinators who know not only how to put their players in the best position to succeed, but also know how to manage their players' health in order to extend their career. For example, look at how Cliff Kingsbury is setting up his rookie QB for success. Most of the league's top play callers, such as Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and Matt LaFleur, oftentimes will call multiple plays at the line of scrimmage, and depending on the offensive line's protection, how the quarterback reads the defense, and what the offense is trying to achieve that week, that quarterback will check to a different play, whether that be checking from a weak side run to a wide zone run or a screen pass to a levels concept. That is up to the quarterback, but Jayden Daniels isn't quite at that level yet. He only has 5 games of experience in the NFL. Cliff Kingsbury understands this and is simply asking him to do basic math to run successful run pass options. Look at the 2 plays Mark Bullock of The Athletic has pointed out to prove this. Jayden Daniels can count the defenders lined up over his receivers during these short yardage situations and understands that the offense is more likely to gain 3 to 6 yards by taking advantage of the number advantage that they have on the sideline. However, if they don't have that advantage, Daniels would have likely handed the ball off. Of course, Daniels can still launch the ball deep, and depending on the circumstance of the game, Cliff Kingsbury might be more likely to dial up some more deep passes. Combine this great play calling with the fact that he has some of the best work ethic in the NFL.
We know what Jayden put in all week. You know what I mean? The kid shows up at 4 a.m. Man, he's already lifting in there. Me and Bobby walk in like at 5, 6. Like, dude is already done with his film tape. He's done with his lift. Like, he's already a step ahead. So, like, to see that and what he does on Sundays is not, like, shocking. You know what I mean? So, it is to the world because, like, the dude put in a week all work in all week. So, you know, it's the law of compensation, man. What you put in is what you're going to get out. And, you know, for him to do what he does, man, it fires us up and, you know, just have us get going.
And it's honestly not a surprise that Washington is in first place of the NFC East. But don't take it from me, take it from his own head coach.
What you don't see on the tape is like how much this guy was. Like, he works so hard, and I think that like it's one of the things that makes my heart smile about him. Just like the type of competitor he is and the way he goes about his business.
Only time will tell how Jayden Daniels' career will end up, but so far it seems like Washington made the right pick. Will Jayden Daniels end up being the best quarterback of the 2024 NFL Draft? Has Josh Harris completely changed the culture and the style of the Washington Commanders franchise, or is it too premature to be making that assumption, and will Washington once again fade into obscurity? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.